Hello and welcome to this edition of Eat Right with Rouses. I'm your host, Keith Weissite, licensed clinical social worker with Terrebonne Home Care. Very glad you're joining us. However you may be joining us, we appreciate it as we welcome in our favorite dietitian, April Sins. Hello, April.
Hello, Keith. I'm excited to talk today.
I love it. I love the fact that we're continuing on this process of getting balanced. And now here we're going to walk through a different section in Rouses. Tell us what we're doing today.
Yeah, so we're shopping around Rouses. We're going through the different sections at Rouses. We started at the deli and the produce aisle. Then we walked over and we went to the meat and the seafood, and then we went to the aisles. Now we're going to go into the frozen section, which is one of my absolute favorite sections to go to. And I'll tell you why. The frozen section, even though it's cold outside, it's one of the best sections to go to because you can get some great options. I'm going to give you a list of a few of my favorite options. But first, I want to tell you, it does extend the shelf life of storing your food. So a lot of times, you can shop in the frozen section at Rouses, but also if you buy fresh at Rouses, you can also think about your freezer to extend the life of some of those great items that you get too. But you can buy so many different items in the frozen section at a great price point as well. So you can buy frozen fruits and vegetables, and it's great, especially whenever you're trying to follow maybe a healthier regimen, a healthier lifestyle, and they don't spoil as fast as it would sitting on the counter or in the refrigerator. Another thing, too, is you can think about reducing food waste. A lot of us are thinking about how can we make our food stretch a little bit longer, a little bit more? Frozen foods is a great option to be able to do that. And, many people are looking at the backs of packages. They want to know what's inside their food, what are the ingredients in the food. And whenever you're freezing food, they don't require as much preservatives because of the freezing process, because freezing it is preserving it. So that's a great option. And you can find it at great economical prices, especially things like this. So I'm going to show you the frozen vegetables. This is just an example of something. But whenever I look for frozen vegetables, I look for just the vegetables that are frozen. And I like a blend of vegetables. You could throw it in a stir fry. You can do so many different types of things. You can make a soup with it because it's nice and chilly outside. And so it's a great option to be able to do that. What else you can do is before you even get to the frozen section at Rouses, you can also go to the seafood department and find frozen options as well. And so you can look for things like Rouses frozen shrimp. Mm-hmm. This is Rouses frozen shrimp that is straight from the Gulf. So you want to make sure that you grab that because it is a really great quality product. And we always keep that on hand because It is super convenient, lean protein. You can go to the frozen section and find some really unique options, like even a plant-based chicken option, which is actually one of our favorites that we make at home. And this is how they turn out. I just cook them in my air fryer, so it's completely free of deep frying. We did the air fryer, which we don't have to use any oil, which is fantastic and nice. It's almost like baking in a convection oven is basically what the air fryer does.
Right.
And then what about breakfast? You can grab some breakfast options as well. And then I just dropped my frozen fruit bag.
Oh,
but you can
nice.
get some frozen fruit to put right on top of your breakfast. So make sure that you look for some options in there, because a lot of times we might get kind of like bored with some of the things that we're eating. And so if you're looking for something to kind of like amp that up and maybe make it more exciting, go to the frozen section. A lot of people don't think about that. Maybe you can find like a whole grain waffle that's super convenient. You can heat it up. And then what about the frozen fruit to make smoothies? Smoothies, even though it's wintertime, smoothies are still a fun way to be able to get your fruits in. So a lot of great options at Rouses that you can find, and it's super convenient. That's what I like about the frozen options too. They're very, very convenient. And it's open the package and it's just about ready for you to either cook or ready for you to heat and eat.
Well, it's really interesting of the products that you're really showing us right there. The stir fry, you can use that stir fry with your shrimp, or you can use that stir fry with your chicken option that you had, right? And so you can make that and change it up so that you're changing options for the kids at home. You can do the stir fry by itself, right? If you're looking for something either light or healthy and you don't really want or need that protein if you had enough protein for the day, but always keeping that shrimp on hand is always a great idea. And because breakfast is the most important meal of the day, we want something convenient, something easy, you know? We want to have the kids having an argument about Lego My Eggo in the morning, right? And so,
Yes.
and then adding, if you're going to add anything to that waffle or that whole grain or multigrain waffle, add some fruit to it. And it's so easy to take it right out the freezer.
100%. You can also grab a couple of things on the Rouses aisle, like this Rouses maple syrup to go with that Eggo as well, those waffles as well. You can also, one of my favorite things is to grab the Rouses olive oil, and that is actually how I make my stir fry at home, is I start with that Rouses olive oil, and then I add my veggies to it to where I have those good fats in there, and then you can do the same thing with the shrimp as well in a pan.
Yeah, it's just some really great options. And we I think very often we forget about the stuff in the freezer. So it's really important that now, beginning of the year, here as we're talking about this fourth round of getting balanced, go through your freezer. You know, throw away some of the stuff that maybe doesn't need to be in there, something that you held on to for the last several years because it was frozen, and go and replenish that with some frozen foods from Rouses. A great idea with some great and quick options. As always, thank you for helping us stay better balanced, especially with now the frozen foods.
Absolutely. Thank you, Keith.
All right, guys, that'll do it for this particular edition of Eat Right with Rouses, but don't go anywhere. A lot more local programming right here on HTV.